The Wrath of the Fairies. Irish legends warn that a curse will befall a U.S. pharmaceutical company if it builds a factory over a fairy fort in Waterford. Dated to AD 800, the fairy fort is an Iron Age ring fort. These circular settlements were farmsteads. Their earthen and stone banks served as protection from animals and intruders. Centuries later, the Irish attributed the forts to magical inhabitants like fairies and leprechauns. West Pharmaceutical Services is ignoring the curse and building their new facility over the ring fort. Workers needed to be brought in from distant regions, as locals have simply refused to help. West Pharmaceutical is aware of the archaeological value of the location and is working with the National Monuments Office to excavate the site prior to construction. However, some believe that this is not enough. According to those knowledgeable of Irish lore, it is not a question of if, but when, the factory will shutter. Eddie Lenihan has written to the company warning that misfortune is almost certain to befall them should they continue with their plans. The company has already begun development of a new factory on the site. It is expected to be completed in 2018 and bring 150 jobs to the area. However, there were delays when local construction workers refused to remove the fairy fort, meaning outside workers had to be brought in. It's not a matter of if the factory will close but when it will close, the Irish Examiner reports Lenihan as saying. People will think you are a crank if you say something like this and there will be much laughter. I'd like it to be on the record anyway so that people can look back when something happens and see that they the owners were warned and didn't pay attention. It will be more than bad luck, there are stories after stories of it. I'd be the first to be skeptical, I'm not one of those people who believes everything they hear. I've been collecting folklore for 40 years and a lot of the stories are bunkum, but not all. You can have one coincidence or two coincidences but after a while you realize that it can't be a coincidence. Local historians have set up a Facebook page to protest against the destruction of the landmark. A spokesperson for the group, speaking to the Irish Post, said, a documented 5,000-year-old site is worth saving not just in pictures and a few museum items, it's the physical place that is what's so important. When it's gone, it's gone. Waterford City Council in a statement, acknowledged concerns about the loss of the site, but insisted the company have adhered to planning recommendations. The Knockhouse site is being addressed in accordance with best practice right throughout the process, and under supervision from this council and the National Monuments Service, West Pharmaceuticals have acted responsibly at all times, and only in accordance with our advice as the planning authority. What if the land we have built on was already cursed, and we did not know it? If so, when will our time come? And how? Stay paranoid, my friends.